Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Sarah Lebrad, and in today's video we are going to be talking about my NaNoWriMo goals, how I'm preparing for those goals here on October, some of the live streams that I'm going to be on during November, as well as writing myself some letters to open up throughout November to keep myself inspired. I'm sure that most of you know what NaNoWriMo is, but for those of you that may not, NaNoWriMo stands for National Novel Writing Month, where a lot of writers sit down during the month of November and try to write 50,000 words on a brand new project. However, I am not drafting something this year for Nano. I have attempted NaNoWriMo several times in the past, but I have never actually won a NaNoWriMo. I think the furthest I've gotten was NaNoWriMo 2019, which is last year, and I think I got 26 or 28,000 words done during November, and 8 or so thousand of those words were for school because I was in my last semester at college. But now that I am out of college, I was really excited about NaNoWriMo this year because I wanted to draft something new, or so I thought. And now that we're here, I recently enough finished draft 2 of my project DE, I reread it, and now the next step is obviously to start draft 3. My plans for draft 3, we'll call it my original plan, was to start draft 3 on October 1st, but that was very shortly after finishing the reread, and that goal of starting October 1st did not give myself any time to spend actually thinking about the issues that came up during the reread, like important world building and naming characters, coming up with everything that just needed to be fixed, essentially. And so I took some time after doing the reread of draft 2 to actually go back through and reread the 1,015 notes that I took on draft 2 to just give myself a good sense of what still needed to be fixed. And then at some point mid to early October, I got rear-ended in my car on my way to work, and that gave me headaches. And I have a history of concussions and headaches that came from those, from soft tissue damage in my neck, so I kind of really freaked out. And so I extended my goal start date to November 1st to give myself time off while still sort of thinking about the world building and the naming and the plot issues without any real parameters on what I needed to accomplish in October, so that I could focus on making sure that I was resting and feeling better to minimize as much damage as possible, which means that my goal for rewriting Project DE into Draft 3 lines up now perfectly with the start of NaNoWriMo. I debated with myself for a while whether or not I actually wanted to call these my NaNoWriMo goals or not, because this is technically being a NaNoWriMo rebel because I'm not drafting 50,000 words. But considering where I'm at in my Project DE and how this is the most pressing writing project on my plate right now, this is the one that I want to work on in November. And in the past, 50,000 words when I'm drafting seems like way too many because I'm a pretty slow writer. Slow is maybe not the best word, but it takes me a long time to write a first draft, and I've tried to rush first drafts and call them zero drafts before, but I've noticed that where I currently stand as a writer and in my writing process, that is not what works for me. So this year, 50,000 words actually does not seem that outlandish because I will be rewriting. And when I say that I will be rewriting, it's actually going to be a very, very intensive process because I will be revisiting every chapter, every page, every paragraph, every sentence, and trying to bring it all up to the same standard of writing that I currently am at and want to hold myself to. So therefore, I think that 50,000 words in November for the rewrite sounds like a very solid goal. I think that 50,000 is attainable. My stretch goal for NaNoWriMo is to do more than 50,000 words. Realistically, my stretch goal is to rewrite the entire book in 30 days. I do not think that's gonna happen. However, that would be sick. And as much as I want that to happen, my goal is going to be 50,000 words in November. Project DE Draft 2 currently stands at 106,124 words. And so if I can do 50,000 words in November, I can do the last 56,000, and that would be great progress. Again, progress is progress. I do not need to do this on my assumed timeline to be happy with the progress that I make, because progress is the goal and not perfection. The reason that I don't want to say that my stretch goal is to finish the entire rewrite is that I will probably end up adding about 20,000 words to this draft, which means it's going to end up at about 125,000 words probably is my current guesstimate. My estimation of added words between draft 1 and 2 was correct, and so I'm assuming that 20,000 words is accurate. That's gonna be a lot. So now that we've talked about my NaNoWriMo goals and why I chose to wait until NaNoWriMo to actually start Draft 3, I want to talk about what I'm doing to prepare during October, aka Preptober. I kind of already touched on this, but I'm basically going back and fixing all of the issues that came up during the reread and the things that I want to fix. Nothing is that major, which I'm actually really excited about. I was worried that I was going to run into some major plot holes just because it did take me like 3.5 years to write the first draft, but I also wrote that while I was in school, and that's probably why it took me so freaking long. But as I'm filming this, it is October 24th, and so far giving myself time to rest and really ruminate on the things that I took notes from the notes of the reread on has been very productive, and I'm almost done with them. So I will be able to finish preparing for this rewrite in the next 7 days for sure. I'm not worried about it at all. I have been very excited in some of the progress that I'm making. I've been naming characters, I've been naming places, I've been trying to figure out what the seasons are. I've been doing a ton of world building, which is like one of my absolute favorite things to do while writing. And one of my favorite world building things that I've gotten to do recently is work on what kinds of architecture would be in what places in my story. Part of preparing for November in October is scheduling the live streams that I'm going to be a part of during November, and some exciting things have happened. I'm actually going to be a part of 3 different writing relays and write-a-thons with other author tubers where we all host like one stream as a part of a bigger group, so you can hop from one stream to another and just be able to write all day. On the first weekend of November, I will be participating in Autumn Ashley's Small Author Tubers Write-a-thon on November 6th, 7th, and 8th. And on that Saturday, which is November 7th, we'll be hosting a live stream on my channel from 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. On the second weekend in November, I will be a part of Sarah Cahill's NaNoWriMo Relay, and for that will be on my channel September 14th from 12 until 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then on the third weekend in November, I am going to be doing an 18-hour write-a-thon with some more of my AuthorTube friends, where we are each going to host about a 2 to 3 hour live stream with writing sprints on each of our channels. More information about all 3 of those will be linked down in the description below. Make sure you mark them on your calendars because November is going to be full of lots of writing sprints, and we are going to get all of the words in. We are going to be so incredibly productive this November. And I know that this November is going to be a little bit different from past years because I will be rewriting and not drafting something brand freaking new, but something that I've seen Kate Kavanaugh do in the past and something that I have wanted to try for a while now is writing myself letters to open up throughout November to keep myself inspired. And so now I'm going to go write myself 2 letters to open up on November 10th and November 20th. Wow, okay, my hand is like already cramping. I can't believe I used to have to write like entire in-class essays by hand. Like, how did I do that? Oh my gosh. Okay, the first one that I get to open on day 10 is now complete, and I'm gonna work on day 20. Okay, now both of these are done for day 10 and day 20, so now I'm going to fold them and tape them to my wall so that when I'm in here and writing on day 10 and 20, I can just pretty simply stand up and grab them off the wall, open them up, and read them. Except you can like kind of see through it, and so I'm gonna fold this again just so that I don't cheat, basically. There we go, that should do the trick. You can pretty much just see where I assigned it to myself, and that's all I'll be able to see, so I will probably forget what I wrote to myself in these, which is kind of the goal. My letters to myself have now been hung up for Nano Day 10 and Nano Day 20. Alright, well that is it for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I am Sarah Labrat. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up because it really supports my channel by telling the YouTube algorithm that you liked my video and that someone else might too. If you are doing NaNoWriMo, please tell me in the comments down below, as well as how you are currently preparing for it. Tell me what your goals are, tell me what you're working on in Nano, because I am so excited about going through this with all of you. And if you have not already, please make sure you scroll down below, hit that big red subscribe button and that little notification bell next to it, because I post videos twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays most of the time, and do live streams on the weekends. So I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye! Okay, the mane is feeling very big today. Very, very big today.